So here I am again. It's Thursday. I went to get the cookies, and let me show you. You see a little teapot and a teacup, and this was a bonus extra. Happy 90th. And there's the 90 cookies. So there's 24 in different colors. It's all very nice. It's going to be, I expected them to be a little bit bigger than bite size, but I'm happy. It's going to be a nice little surprise thing when we go. And I have this that I made myself for Aunt Pat. And it's just all edible. I know how I feel about getting a thing for a gift. I don't want to store stuff anymore. I think I told you that. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Anyway, we're all ready with all of that. I can't remember if I told you. No, I'll save that for another time. I did want to talk about this article that was in the Globe and Mail. And it's by a journalist named John Doyle, who writes about television shows and movies. Mostly television, though. And this article is 7 shows you should be watching on Netflix. And see? And this in the picture here is a shot of the show I was telling you about yesterday called Chef's Table. And this guy is Dan Barber, and we watched his episode last night, and we enjoyed it. Not as much as the Massimo story, though. Anyway, these are 7 shows that John Doyle says that we shouldn't miss off of Netflix, and one of them is Wentworth. I've told you about before. That's the women's prison story in Australia, which is much grittier than Orange is the New Black. And well, actually, it's almost brutal, but it's very good. And the other one that I know is Hit and Miss. Chloe, I don't know how to say Chloe's last name. She was in Big Love. Sven, I don't know. There's a V and a G and an N and Y in there. Anyway, she plays a transgender hitman. A man who's transgendering into a woman. She's a woman, of course. It's Chloe. She's gorgeous. And she's a hitman in England? English countryside, yes. We saw that about, I'd say, as many as 18 months ago. And it was great. It was, as a matter of fact, I think I might have even talked about it, but it's got to be 18 months ago, or maybe even more. The others, Bloodlands, I don't know what that is. True crime documentary series. The Ambassadors is another short-run BBC series. Don't know that. If you guys know this, please tell me if you've watched this. And Amber, it's a mini-series made for Irish state broadcaster about the investigation of a missing girl, Amber. So he says, and usually he's bang on. We've always appreciated his advice on these things. And the last thing that I want, and again, it's linked to TV and whatnot, so if you're not TV watchers, you might want to just go to Longmire. You've heard me talk about Longmire before. I have been a fan of Longmire, and it got cancelled off, I don't know, Fox, or HBO, I don't know, can't tell you. It got cancelled. The show got cancelled. Do you know why? It's not because it wasn't clever. It's not because they were running out of storyline. It's not because the characters sucked. They didn't. They were great. It got cancelled because the advertising, the people geared to who the advertising were trying to market to weren't interested in what they were selling. So it's been moved over to Netflix. They picked it up. And so Longmire will continue. And, you know, the article that I read, it was in today's paper about Longmire not being able to garner the advertising it needed to be able to run on whatever network it was originally broadcast on. I think that's terrible. They said that it was people in and around my age that watch it, and the advertising just wasn't working. So they pulled. The show got cancelled. How scummy is that? It's like our governments, both of our governments, gearing all healthcare to men. Because it's cheaper that way. That's it, that's all.